pressure. Like about 3.
All right, so the next pair coming up is going to be Giuseppe versus Murderola. What's up?
Ain't got no oil pressure.
Having some issues here. Get the car started.
Like it doesn't come up with the motor or nothing?
No. I'm gonna start it, watch it, and listen.
I mean, it had oil pressure on the last pass. I checked it, like for sure. It's up to you.
Let's go.
So we came into the Alabama race. Oh,
Looks like that one is leaking.
you know. So we came into the Alabama race next to the last race of season 6 of NPK, and we've got a legitimate shot to win the grade 8 championship. Like,
Yeah.
we were sitting in 3rd place.
There was what, 3 of us?
There were 3 of us.
Me,
Us, Nate.
Kai, and Nate.
Yep. So Kai had to go out early, and we had to go to the final round.
Yes.
Well, we drew Nate first round. Unfortunately, he had some trouble. He ended up in the
car
wall.
was fast.
He was whipping our ass.
He was. He was. There's no doubt about it.
But before he ended up in the wall.
And it's crazy because I get out of a car and I go, oh yeah, no, it didn't matter, man. I had it.
Yeah.
And then you watch the video and it doesn't go anything like what you think it does in the car.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not just some dumbass in the car that just has no idea what's going
Just
on.
like go with the button and close your eyes.
Yeah, and I still am never right.
Yeah.
And it makes you not want to say anything until you watch the video. Like, this is what I feel. And now I'm saying things like, man, I feel like I was ahead of him, but
Yeah.
I don't really know. And the cars are all so close.
Yes.
Well, most of them.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
of the cars
Most
are
of
close. But yeah, it would have took, Nate's car was rolling on that pass. He said that the wheels were up, and when it set the front end down, and it got into some oil.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunate. So, but we made it past first round, so our championship dreams are still alive, right? Yes. Next round, we draw Kai Kelly.
And that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
We wanted to draw Kai. We needed to draw Kai.
Yes.
We really needed to draw him first round.
Yes.
Win, lose, or draw, you have to take the champ out.
Yep. Well, he was up so many points on everyone that, it was literally going to take us going to the final round and winning, plus going to the final round of the next race and him going out first round.
Yes.
So
yes, it was going to take a lot, but you also got to consider the fact that how many races was there? 15.
15.
Okay, how many of those races were we in the grade 8?
We were in 7, so less than half.
How many was Kai in the grade 8?
All of them.
All of them. How many was
them.
Damon in the grade 8? All of them.
Yep.
How many was Nate in all of them?
I don't think he was in all of them, but he was in at least 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But fact is, we needed to draw Kai.
Yep.
And it happened. I'm never upset when we draw Kai.
Oh no.
Because
I like racing Kai.
I like racing Kai. Kai wins.
Yeah.
And so if you beat him, hell yeah.
Well, and
If
you're
you
going to
beat
get a fair race.
Yeah,
You know what I
you're
mean?
gonna get a fair race
He's not
against
going to play no dumb games on the tree. He's not going to jump on you. He's not going to do anything. You're going to drag race Kai Kelly.
Yep.
So that's always fun.
Yep.
And plus he's fast. So if you beat him, you did something.
No doubt. So he's not up at the top every year.
Every single year.
Every season.
Yeah. I mean, he's been second place for what, 3 years in a row? He was second 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then, he won this year. Good for him. So
it's funny because after he outran us, which, by the way, it was another one of those races where I stabbed the brakes thinking
Yeah.
that the front end will come down and maybe my pecker extender will, chip
Yeah.
the beams.
Yeah.
Which we will take care of that problem this year. I'm done saying that. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse. That's facts.
Yeah.
That happens.
Our front end's too high going through the finish
Is
line.
it anybody's fault but ours? No.
Nope.
We should have went and tested with the car. We should have changed the whole 4-link up and promoted the front end to stay down instead of digging and trying to get it up. But,
The car was running so well,
it was, and trying to keep parts alive. We didn't have a spare motor. We didn't have spare heads. We didn't have a spare crank. We didn't have any of that stuff. So for us, hopefully this winter we'll get some of those things.
Yes.
We have everything else. We got spare transmission. We got spare converters. We got spare rear ends. We got
spare
everything
wheels,
else.
tires, everything.
Yep.
Except,
Everything else that we need except engine components. And when you run that many races in a row, you start seeing parts failure.
Well, you got to think that was our 7th race in a row, like consecutive weeks. We started 7 weeks ago, and that was our 7th race in a row. And hey, man, it was tough.
Yeah.
So he edged us out in the second round of the Grade 8. That made Kai Kelly the champion this year. So
And he didn't even know. I stopped at the end of the track and went up to him and congratulated him. And he just said, "Oh, thanks, man. It was no big deal. It was just another race to him."
Oh.
And then he even told me later, he goes, "Man, when you came and told me congratulations, did you realize that I won? I clinched?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, because we were trying to beat you.
Of course
So
I
you
did. I was
couldn't.
trying to beat you. I knew that this was my last opportunity. If I didn't beat you right here, you'd win the championship.
Yep.
And he was like, "Man, I didn't even know." How'd you not know?
Yeah, come on, man.
You gotta have some better people around you, man.
Yeah, so he got us there. We go into, we get back to the pits, and so our spark plugs have been a weird situation this year. There are some spark plugs that need a fix. There is a newer group of spark plugs that don't need a fix. Well, we got one that needed a fix mixed up in a group of spark plugs that didn't need it. Well, when those spark plugs heat up that do need to fix, it drops the electrode out of the center. And
we dropped one on that pass.
and we dropped one. So we didn't know it, but we hurt the motor.
Well, we broke a piston.
We broke a piston. So we go into round 1 of the eliminations, and
Car's smoking a little bit.
yeah, just a little bit. No, actually, it wasn't no big deal at that point.
It wasn't.
I don't remember who we raced first round,
Kayla.
but was it Kayla?
I believe so.
We won first round.
Yeah, we beat Kayla.
Yep, beat Kayla, won first round. Get back to the pit, check the data, everything looks good. We go back up to race Giuseppe, second round, and you fired the car up and you shut the car off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you fired the car
This
up
was
again.
stupid. Don't do this, for the record.
You fired the car up again and then shut it off again. I was like, oh no. Then he got a radio and said, no oil pressure.
Yeah, there
and I
was
said,
0.
like, 0 or not a lot? And he said, well, there's like 3.
Yeah, it was like 3 at idle.
So I ran back there to you. You fired it up. I looked at it, listened to it. You shut it off. There was like 3 pounds of oil pressure. And I was like, damn. So I looked at you. I said, that's up to you.
You said it had oil pressure the last
Yes,
pass.
it did. It for sure had
And
oil
I
pressure
said,
the last pass.
All right.
I said, it's up to you. And at that point, this was one of the coolest, the coolest and dumbest things I've ever seen Sean do. He fucking reached up, flipped the ignition switch on, and fired it up, and we went racing. So,
I told him, I said, if it makes it through the burnout,
yeah,
then it has oil pressure.
yeah,
And in the burnout, I saw, 30, 40, something like that.
yeah.
And I was like, all right, so it's got some oil
we were
pressure.
hoping it was an oil pressure sensor going bad or
Yes,
something.
yes. Turns out it was not.
So
We made the pass. We got edged out.
Yeah, it
like
was
you
a
said,
close race.
just like we do all the other 136 cars.
Yep.
Those cars are 100 pounds lighter than us.
Yep.
That 100 pounds is significant.
100 pounds is a lot, no matter what you do. I mean, you've lost 100 pounds off of your body before.
Mm-hmm.
How significant was that to how you feel and work and move and everything?
And get out of bed and everything. Yeah. So getting to the 60 foot with 100 pounds lighter, that's a big deal.
Yes.
Now, carrying it through the traps on the big end, but
right here,
there, it's a lot.
Yep.
And, if we could get to that weight, we would.
Absolutely.
It's nobody's fault. I'm not bitching about it. I'm not complaining about it. Those cars are fast.
No, if we could take advantage of it, we would.
I would.
Yeah.
So this winter,
we're going to figure it out.
Part of what we're going to try to do.
Figure it out.
But I would imagine that some of the rules are going to be adjusted. Aside from that, I do 100% believe that there was a lot of parity in the rules.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of close drag races this year. I know that pretty much most of the races, besides Lizzie just driving away from us the couple of times that she drove away from us at the beginning of the year, all of our races, even the ones that we lost, were close.
I'm trying to think. I don't want to be wrong in that. Okay, Lizzie and Robin are literally the only two people that drove out of our lives all year. Other than that, when we lost a race, it was inches.
Yeah,
like
Robin did drive away from us that one back.
So we were going for our three-peat at Maple Grove. We'd already won 2 grade 8s in a row, Vegas and Ohio. We went into Maple Grove a little cocky, and
well, knowing that we had a hot rod,
yeah,
for sure.
So we lined up against Robin. Was it first or second round?
I don't know.
No, it was second round. We lined up against Robin, and while Alan said, "Excuse me while I whip this out,"
yes, he did.
and he commenced to dragging our ass.
Yeah,
so.
And he just dude, when you're
and we went fast.
We went fast, and so whenever we go fast, we can't be upset with ours because we went fast.
Yep.
So honestly, man, I was just like, good job.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you say? It was impressive. So yeah, it was. The rules were good. Minor adjustments here and there, and it's going to be some good drag racing again for season 7.
There's nothing more humbling than sitting in the car that you think, man, I got the baddest bitch on the property, man. Hey, and you're on a lick. I understand if you're not making a good pass, you're all over the place, you're moving around, but we're on a lick, and you just look over and he's just driving away from you.
Yeah, we're talking holding 3 Gs for 2 seconds and not dropping below 2 for 3 seconds, and he's just driving away. It was impressive.
It's humbling.
Equally as impressive as how Lizzie beat us in Colorado.
But also, I feel like Lizzie probably drove away from us a little bit more.
Yeah.
But also, we weren't going as fast then as what we were going against.
Right. Because we were still at altitude, right? So nitrous can create their own atmosphere in the motor where we deal with whatever's out there.
That thing idling.
Yeah. Anderson would not have that.
Yeah. Just gonna let that thing idle. How long are you gonna be in here? Long enough.
So back to the whole no oil pressure thing. That was our fault. The motor, turns out it didn't really have oil pressure.
Suction
The
line was loose.
The suction line on the pump, so these Hemis have an external oil pump. There's a big -16 AN line that comes from the oil pan to the oil pump on the front of the motor. Well, it's on our list to check those. We didn't check them, and the fitting got loose and sucked air, and we didn't have no oil pressure.
So the way I understood it, it's on y'all's list to check. The one that was actually loose was not on y'all's list to check.
Yeah.
At least that's the way y'all explained it to me, so that I wouldn't be so upset.
Well, so we've had it come loose before, but it was the fitting on the pan, right?
Yes.
Whenever all the oil leaked out in the trailer here in the shop after Tulsa. So we've, there for a while, we were pulling the belly pan off every pass, checking that fitting. Well, we didn't check the fitting on the pump, and it came loose, and that was it. So,
so it was the same suction.
Yeah.
It was just the opposite end of the.
Yeah. So,
what's bad is Aaron told me that Javi ran over to her while we had already made the decision to make the
Yeah.
pass, and said, tell him to shut it off. Tell him, I know what it is. I know what it is. and poor Javi, man, he should have made me kill the car, you know, or came to you. Or
see, and then that's
whatever.
the thing, you know, Javi's been in, and I know they've been in that situation before. He's told me about it, and I've not been in that situation where we didn't have oil pressure, so I didn't know. I just know that it had oil pressure the pass before. Now, if it happens again, I know what we're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it just, those Pro Chargers, there's nothing on the car that they don't rattle loose.
no, which
It's out of control. And honestly, when you, no, I can't talk about that. That's the next race.
yeah. Just know that this isn't the last thing that the Pro Charger rattles loose on us or breaks. So we'll talk about that in a recap video for Ennis.
Yeah.
Parts were tired, man. We made almost 100 passes this year total. This was so we had 84 before we freshened the motor in at Proline right before this race. We made 5 passes at that race, and then you know, things are just tired, and it really starts to show its head the last couple of races.
Did you see Robbins?
I did.
That's pretty impressive, man.
It is.
They didn't have no catastrophic failure. I thought at one point they hurt a motor, but I don't.
I
guess
thought
they
so
did.
too, but maybe not.
I thought they swapped out a motor at one point, but I
Maybe
guess
not,
not.
yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That they had, what, 96 or 97 passes? We made 94.
Yep.
And they had the same set,
Yeah.
same everything all year,
Yeah.
which so did we.
You know, we did too, and I feel like had we not hurt the motor as bad as we did here at this race, Alabama, we probably wouldn't have had the future failure that comes up. But it was a good year up until this point. We went from, you know, we weren't really the laughing stock 'cause nobody really, like, they weren't excited to draw us last year, but they were comfortable. You know what I mean? This year we were literally running for a championship. You know,
This year, I would love to have got us from last year.
oh yeah, we were like, oh yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yep,
Like, look, he's going to make 1 out of 10
Yep.
passes is going to be fast.
yep. As long as we make this first pass in the daytime, he's screwed.
Yep.
So it was a good year. Even you know, up until this point, it was a good year, and then even after this, it was a good year too. We did good.
It's always a good race at Steele, and we never seem to do that well there.
We don't test well there. I mean, we always go fast there, but nothing's ever great. You know what I mean? Like, we tried to test there at the beginning of the season and didn't make it past a 60 foot in 5 hits because of our fuel cell issue.
Obviously, in my opinion, I believe that this year we'll be a little bit ahead of the curve because we're not going to change combinations. We're going to run the same thing.
Yeah.
And we have it already in the car. Everything's ready.
Yep.
We just have to test.
Yeah, we just need to refine our whole program a little more. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that makes Ryan so successful. You know, even though he struggled early in this season, he was still successful. I mean, he was the person I didn't ever want to draw, ever. I would rather literally draw anyone in the parking lot besides him. But that's why he is as successful as he is, because he's got the same combo forever, and they test and they test and they test and they test. So that helps, and that's where we're going to get. So
For sure. Got a library of tunes.
yeah, for
So
sure.
even whenever somebody's not there helping us, man, we could pick out one of those tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Find the similar situation, similar track, similar
Yep.
air.
Yep.
And whenever you have so many tunes in the library like that,
Yeah.
then it's just, you know, we're still not tuners. I'm
No.
never going to consider myself a tuner.
Yeah.
But can we put tunes in the car that we have? Absolutely.
Yeah, we can read
let's
a
be honest,
track.
That's what 9 out of 10 guys out at NPK do. There's not, that I know of, any full-blown real tuners out there. Maybe Giuseppe.
Oh, are you talking actual like
That
driver and
actually
tuner?
builds their tunes. There's some people that can build some tunes.
Yeah.
Alan can.
Yeah.
But you're crazy if you don't think everybody out there gets help from a professional tuner.
Honestly, and I could be way out of line with this. I'd say there's probably 4 to 5 tuners for that whole parking lot. and we're sharing shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've got Steve Petty, you got Brandon Stroud, Chase Driscoll, which is there every race.
And he tunes 4 or 5 cars.
He does. So that's huge. We know how huge that is after racing in California with Ryan.
Getting somebody that Chase tunes their cars for,
Yep.
because first off, he's a good tuner.
Yep.
Second off, he's probably already had 2 or 3 cars already go down
Yep.
that same surface.
Yep. So any round, if you draw Kayla or Axeman or Kyle Canyon or I forget who else he tunes for it, you may as well be racing any of them because they're all going to be stupid fast. So yeah, you know, we are not tuners. We just aren't. But we can look at a track. We can go back to our notes and we can pick a tune up to go down that track and go fast. So
Yep. And we've done it.
yeah.
So, you know, I don't care that people think that we don't know how to tune. It's not even an issue.
Nope.
It doesn't matter. We put the tune up in the OG. We put tune ups in the 55.
Yep.
And nobody helped us with the 55 the whole season of the street show,
No.
right?
No, they did not.
I mean, we know enough to get us in trouble.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I know the plus button too many times equals rods at the side of the motor on a stock block LS deal.
yeah.
So
But it's always fun there. It's always cold there. The only thing that sucks is the one way in, one way out. There was a lot of people always.
oh yeah, no, hey, it was they did better this year though as far as the parking goes. Last year they said it was backed up like 10 or 15 miles in both directions. Then this year they let people in and man, it wasn't ever backed up ever. Like they did a way better job even though it was still one way in, one way
Where are
out.
you going?
To go get some things.
You got a new shirt there.
Oh, no.
Is that like a LTD wagon?
That's what it looks like.
Kind of looks like a Chevelle front end.
From Old Navy.
So this was race 14 of 15. That's kind of our recap of it. Sorry, we haven't really done this much over the course of the season.
We're going to.
Yes, next year will be different. And this winter we've got plenty of projects here to crank out. We've got this orange thing over here. That black thing's gonna get some work done to it. It's got the new transmission and converter you've seen us put in. The 55, we're gonna do some testing with it. Got some stuff lined up for my truck. We need to get it tested some more. We'll have plenty to do this winter to crank out some content. Oh, and we're gonna show them our new SEMA build.
Oh yeah.
That's in a video coming up soon. The F-150 is almost done. It's at Fuel Tech getting wired. And then, we'll debut it at PRI, show y'all a video of the dyno. Hopefully it gets done in time for
Can't
that.
believe you don't wire your own stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Wasn't home.
To work.
Yeah.
Well, how come you don't tune your own car? Because we want to be fast.
Yeah. Yep. So, plenty to do over the winter. Plenty of content coming at you. We still got a couple of recap videos for you from Ennis and where did we go last? Phoenix. Yeah. Phoenix was a cool track. I hope we go back there. But until then, appreciate you watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Share the channel, like the video, comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like, and what you would like to see more of. And we'll catch you on the next one, guys.